Well, some of the other ornaments on the tree that are cool are this one. It's a butterfly. I don't know if you can see it. Butterfly. But it's kind of heavy because it's from China and it's filigree with cloisonne on top of the filigree, which is a very unusual technique. And I ran into it at the Bon Marché in Seattle one year after Christmas, and it was half priced. And it was like $15 at half price. And see, it has it on both sides. It has the cloisonne on both sides. Anyway, I bought as many as I could, and the next year when I went back, they were not available. They were only available for 1 year. And sometimes you just have to jump on them, you know, like, for instance, this icicle here, with the spheres, the gold and red spheres. I saw those at a drugstore about 20 years ago, and I bought as many of those as I could, and I never saw those again. They were just available for 1 year. And this blue robot, I think the blue robot is cool because it's based on a tin toy that was put out in the 1930s, and they reproduced the tin toy as an ornament, which I thought was kind of clever and unique. And this year I got these snowflakes from a lady who I work with, Eileen, who is a beader. She does beadwork, and she's been making these beautiful beaded snowflakes. And I gave her a book of, here's another little one, I gave her a book of snowflake photographs this year for Christmas, hoping that would inspire her to make even more snowflake ornaments.
Okay, and what about this narwhal?
Oh, the narwhal. You know, I've been collecting narwhals. I have about 5 narwhals on the tree. And this year I went looking for them, and this was here at Ashland, the blue narwhal. And I was kind of not happy with what I was finding at this shop because they had narwhals, but they were made out of like paper mache or something, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I was really hoping for a super glass narwhal. And I looked up, and there were this blue narwhal, but it wasn't attached to the tree with a hook. It was more or less hanging on by one fin, ready to fall and smash into 1,000 pieces. So I scooped it up, saved it from oblivion, took it home, and gave it a home amongst the other narwhals on the tree. And I also have a couple of sperm whales too, but I'm always looking for more beautiful whales and creatures because my tree is more or less a tree of life. Instead of being a Christian tree, you know, strictly, it's more pantheistic and going back to the pre-Christian days too, celebrating life on Earth. And certainly narwhals are one of the greatest, most wondrous things alive on the planet today.
Well, I see a nice globe here too. And
Oh yeah.
what about insects? Do they have a special meaning for you?
Well, I've been collecting insects for about 30 something years. I got started when I was living in Japan. I met an incredible collector, Mr. Ada. He had so many insects in his collection they had to rent a 1-bedroom apartment in Tokyo to keep the bugs in. And he had thousands and thousands, and he was touring Japan with part of his collection. And in Japan they often will take part of a department store floor and kind of block it off and turn it into an impromptu museum, and that's where I saw 200 or so of his boxes. Each one's the regulation size, and I went every day to see the insects. And on the last day, one of the gals that was hosting the event, she comes over to me very bravely, you know, and says that the owner of the bugs is here, and he wants